Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today we are diving straight into a story that has everyone talking across Nigeria. The headline is heavy. Northern Cabals suspends Kanu's release as Alex Otti meets Tinubu. Kanu is coming out soon, as stated by the Abia state governor. Now this is a story that touches politics, law, and the hopes of many in the southeast. But before we go deep, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell so you get all updates as they drop. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So here's the situation. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, has been detained for quite some time, and his case has been one of the most talked about legal and political issues in Nigeria. The recent statement by Governor Alex Otti has brought a fresh wave of optimism. According to Otti,
he met with President Bola Tinubu and believes that Kanu will regain his freedom very soon. Otti's confidence comes from his personal relationship with the president. He says when Tinubu intends to do something, he makes it clear. And that is why Otti is positive. Now, why do people mention Northern Cabals? This term refers to influential political figures from northern Nigeria who have a lot of sway over national matters. The fact that the headline says suspends Kanu's release shows that there may have been opposition or delays influenced by these powerful groups. But with the governor's recent assurances, it seems that the dynamics might be shifting in favor of Kanu's release. It's important to understand the political backdrop. President Tinubu's administration has been under pressure to resolve this matter,
especially from Southeast governors and community leaders who want a peaceful resolution. Governor Otti and other leaders have been actively engaging the federal government to ensure that justice and fairness prevail. The involvement of key ministers and officials in these discussions shows that the government is taking this seriously. From a legal and human rights perspective, Kanu's case has been complicated. His extradition from Kenya in 2021 raised many questions about international law and due process. Human rights organizations have been vocal, pointing out concerns regarding how the process was handled. Despite this, the Nigerian judiciary has moved forward with the case, and discussions about his release now show that politics and law are intersecting in real time. The public reaction is very mixed. Many people in the southeast see Kanu as a champion of their rights, someone fighting for their community's voice to be heard. Others are worried about national unity and stability, fearing that his release could reignite tensions. But no matter which side you stand on, one thing is clear. This is a national story that everyone is watching closely. Governor Otti emphasized that he is working directly with President Tinubu to find a resolution. He seems confident that in the near future we could see Kanu regain his freedom. And if this happens, it could be a turning point politically, socially, and even culturally, as it will have an impact on discussions about governance, regional representation, and the future of dialogue between the federal government and separatist movements. Let me break this down so everyone can follow. Kanu might be released soon. The federal government is engaged. Northern political groups had previously delayed things, but now the atmosphere seems more positive. This is why everyone is watching closely. It's a story that mixes law, politics, and public interest in a way that keeps evolving daily. And as always, if you are enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends and family so they can also stay informed. Now, the next part of this story is about the implications of his release. If Kanu comes out soon, it could change political alignments in the southeast. Leaders like Governor Otti and others are positioning themselves as peacemakers, trying to ensure that Kanu's return is smooth and does not cause unrest. At the same time, the federal government is likely assessing the national security and political consequences. If you are watching this right now, comment below what you think will happen. Will his release bring peace? Or will it create more tension? I want to know your thoughts. And remember, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, because this story will continue to unfold. And we will be here giving you the latest updates. This is a story that will likely dominate headlines for the coming weeks. Discussions are ongoing, and it's crucial to keep watching how the northern political influence, federal decisions, and southeast leadership all interact to shape the outcome. Now, as we continue, it's important to talk about what this potential release of Nnamdi Kanu really means for everyday Nigerians. This is not just about politics or personalities. It touches on trust in the government, law, and the future of national unity. People across the Southeast are watching closely. They want to see fairness, justice, and transparency. If Kanu is released peacefully, it could be seen as a victory for dialogue and negotiation. But if there is confusion or delay, it might reignite feelings of frustration among his supporters. Let's also consider the northern political influence mentioned earlier. In Nigeria, politics is often a balancing act. The term northern cabals refers to powerful northern political actors who have historically influenced national decisions. They reportedly had a role in delaying Kanu's release. However, Governor Otti's optimism signals a potential shift. It seems that discussions at the highest level of government are now moving towards a resolution. This is where strategy, negotiation, and diplomacy all come into play. For those of you watching right now, take a moment and hit that like button. Every like helps this channel grow and allows us to continue bringing you fresh updates like this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do so now, because this story is developing and you don't want to miss the next chapter. Now let's think about the legal angle a little deeper. Kanu's detention has been challenged in different courts, and his case has drawn attention from human rights organizations, both locally and internationally. The African Commission on Human and People's Rights has had eyes on this case. Critics argue that his extradition and subsequent detention raised serious legal questions. Supporters, however, argue that the judiciary has been fair and now the ball is in the government's court. Governor Otti's involvement suggests that political dialogue may be the bridge to resolve this, even as legal questions remain in the background. So what does this mean for Nigerian politics in the coming months? If Kanu regains freedom soon, it could energize his supporters and change the political conversation in the Southeast. Leaders who have advocated for dialogue and negotiation, like Governor Otti, might be seen as key figures in resolving conflicts and ensuring stability. On the other hand, this could also test national unity depending on how the news is received across different regions. And remember,
While we talk about all these high-level political moves, the reality on the ground matters most. Ordinary Nigerians want peace, safety, and the assurance that leaders are acting fairly. This is why public reaction will be crucial. People are watching social media, news channels, and official statements closely. Every update, every statement can influence public opinion. Here's the interesting part. This story is also about hope. Governor Otti's confidence in President Tinubu's disposition shows that relationships and trust at the top can impact real outcomes. It reminds us that politics is not just about laws, it's also about dialogue, personal relationships, and negotiation. And as this story unfolds, Nigerians across the country are paying attention. Let me pause for a moment and remind you, smash that like button if you are enjoying this detailed breakdown. Share this video with friends and family, and subscribe if you want to keep up with live updates and analysis. Your engagement helps us continue reporting these stories in real time. Looking ahead, the coming days and weeks will be critical. The government might issue official statements confirming the release, or there could be more political negotiation behind the scenes. Supporters of Kanu are hopeful, while critics are cautiously observing the process. This delicate balance makes the story both exciting and sensitive. And finally, let's talk about the human angle. Beyond politics and law, this is about a man who has been detained for a long time, about families, communities, and the hope that justice and fairness will prevail. If Kanu is released soon, it could be a moment of relief for many, a chance to move forward, and perhaps a step toward dialogue and reconciliation between different regions and political interests in Nigeria. So, to wrap up this part, here's what you should remember. Governor Otti is confident. Discussions with President Tinubu are ongoing. Northern political influence may have delayed things before, and Nigerians everywhere are waiting to see what happens next. This story is unfolding live, and it will continue to dominate headlines and public conversation. Before we pause again, I want you to take action, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video. Comment below with your thoughts. Will Kanu's release bring peace, or will it create more challenges?
I want to hear your opinions because this is a story that belongs to all of us.